does the APC take the endorsement of Senator Sharafaddin Ali as the consensus gubernatorial candidate for the 2027 election as legally binding, or just an expression of interest from a faction?
No, the party does not have any official position because I think as at the last count, about 9 persons have collected nomination forms. So the party does not have any official position. You see, members of the party have the right to endorse whoever among the aspirants that they want to endorse. Oh, you and I can come together and endorse aspirant A, and 2 other people can come together and endorse another person. So it's actually okay, and it's also a globally acknowledged practice. Endorsement, yes. So it's not the official position of the party.
I think the problem is, or the fear is, the influence of the endorsee.
Definitely.
In this part now, we are talking about the Olubadan of Ibadan Landover Senator Rashidi Adewolu-Ladoja, whose influence within the political space of Oyo State.
Has he formally endorsed any candidate? Interestingly, quite a number of the aspirants are his subjects. I'm not aware of any endorsements by Kabiyesi. So, I'm not aware of that.
So there are whispers that the Olubadan Palace is a shadow headquarters for a faction.
There are legally binding processes for nomination of candidates, okay? And until you are nominated as a candidate, you are still an aspirant, okay? And every aspirant would want to find every means legally of ensuring that it comes to emergence as the candidate, okay? So there will be endorsement after endorsement after endorsement. And there will be whispers after whispers and whispers, and there will be protests and protests and protests. There will be criticism after criticism after criticism. It's something that we should all watch, enjoy, because it's part of a game of politics, and it is actually it's a global practice. It's not peculiar to Oyo State, not peculiar to Nigeria, and not peculiar to any other part of the country. So it's okay that we have endorsements. It's okay that we have whispers. It's okay that some people would condemn the endorsements, so some people will be happy with the endorsements.
And now we have Chief Adebisi Ogunjimi demanding that the direct primary be used in determining the candidate for the 2027 election. And there are aggrieved members of the APC that we can call old guard members, who are of the opinion that the party, that's APC, lost the 2023 election as a result of fielding Chief Adebisi Adelabu, and they are fearing a repeat of that.
Chief Adelabu was not fielded in 2023. It was
2019.
It was fielded in 2019. This is 2026. We're going towards 2027. In politics, things change overnight. Okay, so we cannot use 2019 as a yardstick for determining what's going to happen next year. We don't even know who the candidates will be. And for me personally, as Obatunde Oladapo, I don't have any preference for any candidate at present. My preference.
You don't mind the candidacy of Chief Adelabu?
I don't mind the candidacy of whoever my party chooses as our candidates.
Consensus or direct primaries?
Either consensus or direct primaries. Okay, I'll give you a scenario. In Oyo State, before Ambo, before he emerged, some candidates preferred the direct primaries, the primaries, okay? But after some time, they came together and they agreed on consensus. So someone that says he wants direct primaries today might probably, because some people have urged him, they have prevailed on him, there has been some horse trading and all that, opt for consensus tomorrow. But what we should take cognizance of is what the Electoral Act says. what the guidelines of the APCs say, okay? And it says that consensus is arrived when all cleared, all, note that word, all cleared, not just anybody aspiring, all cleared, because after you obtain your forms, you are going to go through a process of screening. After the screening, there's going to be a publication of the list of candidates that are cleared. After that, there's also an opportunity for aspirants that have any grievances, especially those that are not cleared, to appeal. After the exhaustion of the appeal process, that's when we have a finalist. Is that finalist of aspirants that are qualified to even discuss about consensus. Consensus is not what some people ask you to do or what some people do on your behalf. Because if those people do it on your behalf, they don't have any section of the Electoral Act that backs that particular campaign. So, consensus involves the aspirant, all the aspirants, indicating in writing that we have agreed that this person, for example, if there are 10 aspirants, 9 other aspirants agreeing to present one, the 10th person, as the candidate. That's consensus.
Let's look at the involvement of our father, the Adebisi
Alleged involvement.
Alleged involvement.
Thank you.
Baba Adebisi is a politician himself. He is a former senator, a former governor. He is a proponent of the Oyo State. So how partisan or not partisan do you think
Okay. Being a proponent of Oyo State does not make him a politician. It makes him an original Ibadan man like me.
Okay. A former senator, a former governor of Oyo State.
Even
the interest of Oyo State is high, is premium on his heart, and he would really like to be a part of those who decide who becomes the governor. Don't you think so?
Even if he was never a governor, even if he was never a senator, because he's a human being, active human being, he should have his preferences.
He should have
his preferences. He might not make it public. You cannot take away his right to prefer an aspirant or a candidate or a party, okay? Because every human being is a political animal, okay? So he has his right to have his preferences. Now, what we should be asking is whether there is any evidence that he is using his position as His Royal Majesty, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, to influence the selection or nomination of candidates.
Do you share the sentiment that Ambassador Florence Ajimobi was, can I use words now, was beginning to gain momentum? She's
still gaining momentum. She's still gaining momentum.
Before she was appointed as
she's still gaining momentum. She's still gaining momentum.
Would you say she's becoming as powerful as her late husband, or even more as we speak?
I'll be quite happy if she's more powerful than her late husband. Why shouldn't she be powerful? Because she's a woman? That would be discriminatory. On the other hand, I think I should also let you know, I am positively biased because she was my boss.
Okay.
And she's someone I love so much. So I would definitely speak in her defense. But on a serious note, shouldn't a woman be powerful? Shouldn't women be involved in politics? Shouldn't women aspire to occupy the highest positions in the land? The only difference between a woman and a man is their physiological makeup. Okay? What matters most is what is between your shoulders, the brain, not what is between our laps. Okay? And for every person that has a female child, from when that child is young, you must be impressing it upon the child that we don't have female certificates or male certificates, we don't have female naira or male dollars or whatever. There is nothing wrong with Ambassador Mrs. Florence Ajimobi rising, her political profile rising in Oyo State, because she deserves it. She has paid her dues.
Now, would you say that the APC, as it stands today in Oyo State, is united enough to dislodge the PDP?
The APC in Oyo State and throughout Nigeria, the rest of Nigeria is the most united party. Take it or leave it. The others don't even know. Many of the others don't even know where they belong. You will see them in one party today, the next day you see them in another party, and then the next day they're on their way to another party. So which other party is more united than the APC? None.
But 2019 would not say that. 2023 would not say that, based on the result of the gubernatorial election.
That was
in Oyo State.
That was 2019 is 7 years ago.
Okay, 2023.
23 years ago.
3 years ago.
And I said anything can happen in politics overnight.
Okay.
And the dynamics of 2023 and 2029, the dynamics of 2023 are quite different from those of 2029. And I have to be honest with you. I contested. I was the candidate of the APC for House of Assembly in Oyo State constituency in 2019. I was swept away by the Makinde tsunami. Okay? By 2023, initially I had interest in contesting, but because of the way we were conducting our affairs and the fact that from the top, from the national leadership of the APC, we messed up in a lot of things, in a lot of ways. We messed up our delegates. You know, in 2023, you see one primary, indirect primary, being held in one location, and another faction was holding. We don't even know who were the authentic delegates that you want to deal with. That was in 2023. And I looked at myself, I said, oh, but if you're putting your money into this election, even if you win the ticket, you might not win the general election. So I just said, no, I'm not contesting. And since I turned 60 last year, I said, no, I think I'm done with contesting. So we have younger people that were supporting now. So we had the best chance. This is the best chance for APC.
Now.
to dislodge the PDP.
To dislodge? The PDP has dislodged itself.
No, not yet.
We're not dislodging the PDP, okay? Mm-hmm. We are sending to the leadership of Oyo. We're not dislodging the PDP. The PDP is a decapitated party, discombobulated, to borrow Professor Onchoika's English.
That leads us to the alleged driving or push of Nigeria into a one-party system by President Bola Tinubu. Now, as a Nigerian, if you were not an APC member, let's say you're just an average Nigerian, non-politician, or if you were in the opposition, would you applaud the current situation of politics in Nigeria? I think we have like 31 governors out of 36 in APC right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you why they keep coming to the APC. But let me first talk about the alleged push. The truth is that it is not the business of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to manage the affairs of the opposition parties for them. Okay? Let me start from the PDP. There has been protracted internal crisis within the PDP as a
just like
let me explain.
In other parties.
No. Look at the ADC. No, let me explain. Let me explain. ADC
Labour Party.
ADC is branch office of PDP.
What of Labour Party? I think
Labour Party is satellite. It's a satellite town of Labour Party is a satellite town of PDP.
All parties are bedeviled.
No, the Labour Party. Let me explain to you. You see, the problem with these people, and I feel so sad that we don't have virile opposition in Nigeria. They are lazy, born lazy. They don't build. They just. It's like you have a problem in your house, and then you pack your load out of that house, and you just pack into an uncompleted building.
I think it's as a result of the lack of ideology that we always talk about.
That is the problem.
People
so why would you? Okay. Let me explain to you. Let's say I am a young man. I'm interested in winning the hands of a young lady. I want to marry her. And I see another man who wants to marry her. You now expect me to go to that young lady and be telling her about the positive qualities of that man. We are competing, my sister. Do you wish your competitors to succeed? It is the responsibility. Each party needs to carry its destiny in its hands. Why would you now blame other people for causing problem in your own house when you cannot put your own house in order? Is it the responsibility of the APC to help the PDP or the ADC or the Labour Party or ADA or NDC, all these splinter groups, to put their houses in order. No.
So would you say Asiwaju is a brilliant politics or an opportunistic politics?
Who?
Asiwaju.
He's the biggest builder. He does. The others are opportunists. Think of it. We have the Vice President, His Excellency, former Vice President, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. He was a Vice President from 1999 to 2007. The last time he was in office, in that exalted office, is almost 20 years ago. He does not have the clouds to build, to start a new party. He keeps jumping from one place to the other. His Excellency Peter Obi was a governor, okay? And he does not, after he entered, packed into Labour Party, you know they have a penchant for packing into largely unoccupied buildings, okay? When you come to that house, you paint the house, you renovate the house, you build the house. But he said that anytime he doesn't stay where there is problem, and he wants to solve the problem of Nigeria, okay? And now you blame Asiwaju for them running around like headless chickens. So I don't know. We are not interested in one party state, and we cannot be in a one party state. There are over 21 parties in Nigeria. So where does one party state? If there is only one party state, why do they keep going from one party to the other? If it's from one party, they are going to another party. So there's nothing like one party. We're not interested. But I personally am interested in a virile opposition that will keep the government in office.
But when was the last time
on
we
his
had
toes?
Such opposition? When you look at Oyo State,
that was the last time we had. The last time we had such opposition in Nigeria was when the AD, AC, ACN, and later APC was in the opposition.
So how viral is
Asiwaju is a very good example of opposition. Unfortunately for PDP, they didn't do well in governance. They are even doing worse in opposition.
We have gone on and on about the brilliance of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a politician. But can you place that side by side with the situation of Nigerian economy as we speak today? The situation of things in the country.
We are not where we ought to be yet. But we know that the trajectory has changed. And I will tell you, just imagine if it had been Peter Obi that declared that oil subsidy was gone on the first day. Okay? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar also said the same thing. Kwankwaso also said the same thing. The question we should be asking ourselves is, if it had been Kwankwaso or Atiku or Peter Obi had been in government in this present situation where there's no more oil subsidy, where we have now decided to float the naira and we're not subsidizing the naira anymore.
Well, it's not them in power, and people voted. Listen, people voted Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu
because he's the best material.
Yeah, people believe.
Because I know he's the best. Because
but
I know.
Now, can we still
because
say
he's the best material. You can only imagine what the others could have done.
Nigerians don't want to imagine Mr. Oladapo. We are here now. Asiwaju is the president
reality,
now, and we expect, Nigerians expect that the situation would have been better, because what we faced under Buhari, people wanted a change. So people thought they were going to have it different when Asiwaju comes into power, which was why a lot of people advocated for Asiwaju to become president.
You see, if those people that advocated for President of Asiwaju and are feeling disappointed now, then they were asking for a magician. Because those drastic changes, those fundamental changes, those change of direction, those systemic changes cannot have effect overnight.
In 3 years. Definitely
not in 3 years. Anybody that has experience about economies and understand the economy of Nigeria the way it is would understand that you cannot wave a magic wand and make changes.
In 3 years, Mr. Oladapo,
yes, my sister.
Tell me an aspect of Nigeria
that has changed for the better. Many of our children today are not paying school fees. Many children that should have dropped out of school are not paying school fees. We have what we call the TVET programs. Children, young people that are on vocational education training are not just attending free. They are getting 45,000 naira monthly stipends. You can verify. There are programs for young people who are interested in being entrepreneurs, and they're getting funds. You can verify. You see, the problem with people is that many times we listen to what people say on the street,
I
and not get.
These things you just mentioned, and some of other things like this, I call them abstracts because Nigerians don't see it.
No, don't.
Nigerians want to see.
With all due respect,
what can we see?
My dear sister,
You can see light. You can see the situation of life. You can see food stuff.
Can I tell you?
You can see the price of food stuff in the market. So
can I tell you?
What can we see that has done better?
Can I tell you? With all due respect, when you say those things are abstract, they are blatant lies, and I will explain to you. I have 3 children who are not my biological children that I pay their school fees. Okay? Now I don't pay their school fees anymore.
Okay.
I only give them stipends. Okay? And they still get 20,000 naira from the federal government. Okay? Is that abstract? You see, if you are not personally affected, you say it's abstract. And that's one of the problems we have in this our so-called more enlightened environment. Go to the north, go to Ahmadu Bello University. You know what they do with the NEL fund? They organize them into halls and help them to apply. And that is why up to like 70% of beneficiaries are from the north.
They are from the north.
So is that abstract?
What of the economy? What of the
economy? You see, there is a fundamental change. You see, one of the problems, one of the major shortcomings of this government is that they don't beat their drums loud enough. The power ministry is making a lot of changes. I'm not defending Adelabu. Go to National Electricity Regulation, whatever. Go and see what they are doing. Go to many. My friend Kayode is involved in the in the installation of mini grids in many universities, teaching hospitals across the country. Go and ask. Go to Nasarawa State. Go to their website and see what is happening. It's not abstract. You see, a lot of people are too busy with Yahoo, with social media, somebody dancing naked and all that, portable boxing, kata efe and all those things. Then things, yes, I know about it, but I'm very current. You understand? The Yabo Joe wants to fight Lizzie and Jory and all those things. That's what they want to watch. People don't even know the name of the member representing them in the House of Assembly.
So what do we blame for all of this?
We blame ourselves because each person has a responsibility to how he or she wants to run his life. And please, don't let me tell you one thing. In Nigeria, we have 1 federal government, 36 state governments, and 774 local governments. That's a whopping 811 governments we have in Nigeria. We put all the responsibility and point all the accusing fingers at Aso Rock. Whereas, in reality, the average governor is in reality more powerful than the president of Nigeria.
Well, if we go into that,
the average governor, can you dispute that the average governor is more powerful than the president of Nigeria?
I think that's a discussion for another day.
Okay, the next president after Tinubu, you still point accusing fingers on them if we don't address the fundamental problems that we have in Nigeria. And that is why the president is trying to struggle to wrest control of local governments from the hands of.
I think we will have another conversation after the primaries at different political parties and candidates have emerged. We will come back. Ahead of the party primaries, a lot of people believe they are tired of same old faces in Oyo State politics. These names that we have been hearing, because some people will tell you they've been hearing it even since they were young. And they have grown into all these names, and these names are still in power. Even look at the national level. You are hearing the Buharis, you hear the Tinubus, I've been hearing Tinubu sing. So you want to ask, are there no new people? Are there no equally qualified or even more qualified people that we can actually field
at this
time? Why do we have to go to all these people again? It's like
again
bringing them, renewing them, publishing them, recycling them, and just bringing them in, repackaging them, and reselling them to the people. Why do we have?
There's a simple answer to it. Politics is an incurable disease. Once it bites you, it can never leave you. Okay? And that is why, you see, the good thing about politics is that in war, okay, you get killed in war and that's all. In politics, you get killed. You can still wake up again. They kill you like they kill people in the movies. This person that is that was killed in the previous movie, you still that person alive in the next movie. Okay, that's the way in politics because there is always an opportunity for you to come back. Okay, that's one. You see, in politics, when you enter at the beginning of your entrance into politics, it's like you are entering into a particular career field, okay? And the more you progress in that career, the higher you go, the more you want to continue in that career. So that is why you keep still seeing or hearing the same names. Okay, but new people also join. Yeah, it's like you are having a processing facility. Okay, some will be coming in, some will drop out, on the way. It is because those others that you are mentioning have persisted through thick and thin that you are still hearing their names. A lot of people have ventured into politics and they have had to run away because you have to have a thick skin. You have to be resilient, you have to be smart, you have to be witty. You must know how to navigate the waters. So now, there was a time I wasn't in politics. I'm in politics, okay? Why do we keep seeing Obatunde's face every time? But for me, I said, like I told you earlier, I said, no, I'm not interested in contesting again. But if I say I want to contest again, say, this man has come again. So there's nothing wrong because it's within their fundamental rights as citizens to always aspire to any position that they wish. Somebody might aspire for governorship today. If he's qualified, he might say he wants to be president tomorrow. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with having names of people there. That's part of consistency.
Well, I just believe that if these people do not occupy these spaces, there will be chance for new people to come in. But since they are there, they are all over.
So what makes us feel that new people will do better than them? So why shouldn't they be on the field? You've been in broadcasting for quite some time. So they keep seeing Madam Adebisi's face every time. I think she should go and sit down and enjoy the comfort and love of her husband and not get into the studios anymore. No. You see, we should take politics as just any other field of human endeavor.
You say that the perceived failure of the immediate past Minister of Power, Chief Adebisi Adelabu, in office as the Minister of Power, would you say that it has affected his chance in his desire to become the governor of Oyo State, positively or negatively?
Who does that perception of failure belong to? I don't believe he failed. So, you see, there will always be something negative to say about every candidate. Bring Sarafa, they will have things to say. No, they are calling him Billboard.
Billboard
okay?
Center, yes.
Adelabu, they say Minister of Darkness. Is that not what they're saying? They say all sorts of things. Bring another one, they will still say something about them. But one thing I want to assure you today, our party will do everything to bring forward a candidate that we will eagerly, conscientiously, boldly, strongly support to put in the Agodi government house. It might be Minister Adelabu, it might be AKK, it might be, mention the names. We have about 9 people. It might be Allow, Agbaje, whoever, I am assuring you, whoever we decide to present our candidate, we will give it our all.
Do you have absolute
put that person
trust
in?
Do you have absolute trust in the internal democracy of your party, APC?
I'll answer first. Do I even have absolute trust in myself? That's number one. Number two, I have some reservations with some measures taken by our party. For example, in the way, and I understand their motives. For example, our party is trying to avoid violence that could arise. We need serious, strong logistic, security arrangements for us to hold direct primaries. Because apart from people saying, oh, maybe these APC members will fight, there's also the possibility of some fifth columnists or some other outside influences trying to cash in on our direct primary to cause mayhem. Okay, what if even if non-APC members decide to shoot guns where we are holding our direct primaries? So our party, as responsible leaders, are trying as much as possible to reduce the number of constituencies where we will have to have direct primaries, in line with the Electoral Act that recognizes only 2 means of primaries: consensus or direct primaries. Okay, but I have some reservations with the way we are going about it. For example, there was a directive that we should have a 10-man committee in each constituency to select and ask the aspirants to come together and bring one person. And if they're laughing, no, that's possible. That's possible. That's not consensus. Consensus means no. Let me explain. That's not consensus.
Okay, but you're going to bring them together for them to step down for one.
And if they don't step down, the 10 men now select who to recommend. That's an indirect way of bringing in indirect primary, which is not recognized by the electoral act, okay, and even the guidelines of APC. Okay, that's one. You see, what they wanted to do is to ensure that we don't have more than one aspirant. Let me explain. An aspirant officially is that person that has purchased the nomination before the primaries. That is the aspirant. Now, they wanted a situation in which, before you purchase funds, you agree and say this is the person that is coming forward. But in a case where such fails, and we have more than one person obtaining funds, that means you will go for direct primaries. That's what it should. That's the way it should be. So that the only reservation is that aspect of asking people to select, because you cannot vouch for the neutrality of those 10 men. Some of the things that caused the indirect primary being removed from the electoral act was many times these people it's not even democratic. Okay, their choice may not reflect the interest of the generality of the members of the party in that constituency. One big man can hijack them, put money in their pockets, and one powerful leader can say, you must vote there. You must go ahead and choose this person. We've seen cases like that in many constituencies. And that is why I said I have reservations. It's undemocratic. The consensus option should not have come until after the purchase of funds. And we now see the number of aspirants that have been cleared to go for primaries. Then the leadership of the party can bring them together and say, please, let us do some horse trading, some negotiations, some persuasion and all that. And among them, you will see a few cases where they will have consensus.
I believe the primary is the best way.
The direct primary is the most democratic way.
It's the best way to choose.
It's the most democratic.
At the end of the day, some people might just have to forgo.
Consensus is also democratic if it is by choice. It is not by compulsion.
But it's not
by coercion.
It's usually not by
intimidation. It's not by intimidation like coercion.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Obatunde Oladapo, for your time on the Outpost. My name is Adebisi Ogunjimi.